Hey everybody, so today we're going to be working on a tutorial and I'm going to show you how adding an extra layer of plucks can really make a difference. And then a little tip I like to do where I use a lead as a second kind of pluck. It's hard to explain, but I guess people get confused with the terminology. Plucks, leads. For me, I like to think of it two ways. My main elements are my leads, okay? Everything else is a counter melody. It might be a pluck, it might be a lead, it could be anything. It's a counter to the melody, okay? So in this case, we've got a nice plucky counter melody, and then to get some movement and to kind of create a story with the plucks or the counter melodies, I like to use a lead, which is automated up. Now, one small thing before we start, I've just realized that I said in my last video I was going to announce the winners, in the next video. Well, it's about 10 minutes later and I'm doing the next video now ahead of time, obviously. So obviously we've not even posted the first video, so I can't announce the winners. So you should have seen on YouTube the winners were announced via some artwork that was posted. Okay, so as I'm saying this, I'm kind of writing it down to make sure that I get the artwork made and do this. But yeah, so what we're going to do is, because the videos are recorded, weeks in advance, as I said, on YouTube and Instagram, we will post the winners with a nice bit of fancy artwork. I don't quite know the days yet. We're trying to get everything into a system, into a flow. It's very difficult. There's a lot of facets, a lot of moving parts. Videos are posted Mondays and Thursdays. Reels are posted Tuesdays and Fridays. So maybe the winners will be announced on Wednesdays and Sundays, something like that. Maybe just probably better to just do it on Tuesdays and Fridays. Maybe it's in line with the reels. It's going to be a bit of a working kind of work in progress, as I said. But yeah, so if you're unsure of the winners, you can drop me a line, tutorials@AdamEllisDJ.com. This is something I'm committed to, a free half-an-hour lesson, every single tutorial, so every Monday and every Thursday. And again, all you have to do is drop a really nice, engaging comment, maybe ask a question, like the video, and you will be in a chance of winning. The channel is not that popular at the minute. There's not that many comments, so you've got a massive high chance of winning. Just be creative, it's all about engagement. Anyway, so let's listen to a track without my counters. A client sent me this. I was like, wow, everything sounds really good, but not quite there yet with a counter. So you can hear what a big difference that counter has made. Listen to the counter on its own. If you'd like this pluck, let me know. Drop me an email, and I'll share it with you. I call it my jock pluck. You can hear that PSP kind of adds a lot of life to it. Arts Acoustic adds a lot of life. The Maggie Q4, the Sender Returns, working more like a bit of a volume than anything else, but it's just the way that I set it up. It just works really well. If you've not got this set up, just take off PSP Vintage Warmer and just put on Maggie Q4 and it'll work just as good. Well, not quite as good, but 95%. Most people won't be able to hear the difference. There you go. Can you hear the difference? Probably not. So anyway, so we've mixed it in. All we've got on the channel is an EQ with 130 cut at the bottom, 18K cut at the top. Compressor, compressed at about -3 decibels. Nice and simple. And yeah, sounds great. Now let's add a lead, a layer. This layer sounds pretty shit, to be honest with you, but it works really well. We're just looking for that hiss to come through. I've spread it 30% on each side just to kind of add some width to it. I like to visualize. Imagine the sound is literally in front of your eyes. Get your two hands, and I put my two hands in the sound and then move my hands left and right. And it's like I'm pushing. I think of it like mentally. Like I think of it like not mentally. I guess I visualize it, and I visualize me putting my hands in the sound and moving it left and right. Just makes it nice and wide. Again, all these little things are quite subtle, but in the grand scheme of things, most people wouldn't be able to hear one that's spread and one that isn't. But over the course of 100 sounds, these kind of little techniques add up. So again, it doesn't sound too good, but we mix it over the pluck just so it sits just over it, so -7 decibels. That's way too loud. We just want it to kind of sit above it. There you go. It's funny that in the mix, it really needs that extra volume, but when it was just soloed, it doesn't. And that's a really good example of why it's important to mix everything in the mix. So how do we do the little telling the story kind of thing? Well, I like my pluck to come in. Now, I'd normally automate the pluck a little bit as well, but obviously we've only got what we can work with the audio. So the pluck is going to come in as it is, and then over time, over the course of 16 bars, the counter is going to come in, and it's going to crescendo, peak at 17 bars. And this is a good way to tell a bit of a story. So your bass drops, 8 bars later, your percussion comes in, some acids, and then a pluck comes in. And most people just leave it at that. But I like to have a lead building up underneath, and it just really adds like a different level of complexity to your counter melodies. So you can see it makes a massive difference. And that's pretty much it, really. That's how you can, get your counter sounding really good. And as I say, tell a bit more of a story with the counters. I feel like I'm just repeating myself now. So just remember, every video you get a chance to win a free tutorial. So drop a creative comment, like the video. As always, email me for any questions, tutorials@adamellisdj.com. If you would like this pluck, or you would like my template, or any information about anything, including my lessons, then obviously drop me a line. And I will see you in the next one.